Councillor Jeff Ashford, Deputy Mayor Mrs. Suzette Peterson, Secretary General of the National Maritime Organization Mr. Peter Gill, Honorable Members of Council of Richmond, Alan Kent, Member of the Ministry of Defense of the United Kingdom, Defense and Military Attaches, Friends of the Republic of Chile, and members of the Chilean Embassy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start my speech by welcoming you all at the O'Higgins Square here in Richmond. This year, due to unforeseen reasons, we have to delay this first ceremony of our hero, General Bernardo O'Higgins. Today, our country remembers and celebrates the birth of whom we recognize as the liberator and founding father. For this reason, throughout our country and of course in the United Kingdom, we, the Chilean people, unite our spirits to highlight what gives meaning and substance to our identity as a national community. In this regard, I would also like to take this opportunity to highlight the inviolable relationship which has always existed between Chile and the United Kingdom. The life of Bernardo is a historical testimony to that relationship, as I will try to put into words. To introduce our distinguished guests to the importance of General O'Higgins, I kindly invite you to discover the answers to the following three questions. Who was General O'Higgins? Why does O'Higgins have a relationship with England, and what kind of evidence still exists? What was the English influence on O'Higgins, and how was it reflected in his work? Initially, to answer who O'Higgins was, it is necessary to remember that he was born in Chillán, a city located in the south of Chile, on the 20th of August 1778. His mother was a prominent local, and his father, Ambrosio, an Irishman from Balneary country of Sligo, had migrated to Spain. Ambrosio had aptly worked his way up to the Spanish administration, becoming Captain General of Chile in 1788 and Viceroy of Peru in 1796. Bernardo spent his early years with his mother's family in the cities of Chillán and then in Talca. At the age of 15, O'Higgins was sent to Lima, Peru by his father. At 17, he was sent to Richmond to complete his studies. In 1801, arrived back in Chile and settled in his hacienda of San José Las Carteras. From that moment on, he began a long military and political career to achieve Chilean independence and the birth of the new nation. Therefore, it is estimated this pathway was most evident when he became Commander-in-Chief of the ragtag Patriot Army in 1814, who went with the Argentinian liberator José de San Martín. He finally witnessed the defeat of the Royalists at the Battle of Maipo in 1818. Concerning his political life, he served as Supreme Director of Chile from 1817 to 1823. At the end of that period, he took decisions that generated discontent among the aristocracy. As a result, his political support for his administration waned. To avoid further confrontation, he abdicated in 1823 and went into exile in Lima, Peru, where he died in 1842. To answer our second question concerning O'Higgins' relationship with England and its present-day vestiges, it is necessary to recall his distant relationship with his father. However, Ambrosio supported him financially and always concerned about his education. He was sent to live and study here in Richmond between 1795 and 1799, just a few blocks from his square at number 1, the King George Street, at the Catholic School of Mr. Timothy Hills. Here, apart from receiving an excellent education, He also was privileged to be a disciple of the Venezuelan Francisco de Miranda, who introduced him to the cause of Americanism and instilled the ideals of freedom for the people of the country. As for the traces of Bernardo's life in Richmond, we are grateful to have two iconic locations. Firstly, thanks to historical research carried out by then military attaché Colonel Roberto Arancilla, a blueprint was authorized and installed by the English Heritage Organization in 1984 in the same place where Bernardo lived and studied, the current house here in Richmond. Secondly, in the same decade, a vast of him stood above an elegant concrete monument designed by the distinguished Chilean architect Professor Marcial Echenique. Finally, to answer the last question, let me share the influence Bernardo received here in England and how it was reflected in his life and work. We know that he received a well-rounded education in Richmond, that he adopted liberal ideas prevalent in England at that time, that were to become crucial on his return to Chile. We also know that Bernardo was attracted to different themes in England at the time. Faith freedom, sea importance, and the positive effects of its dominance and use on the growth of the development of nations. Ideas of free trade, equality and freedom as fundamental principles of governance, advances in education, and pursuit of order and development, among other things. Reflection of these principles acquired here in England was in his work on his return to Chile and in his government, some of which are as follows. Formal Declaration of Independence. He declared all Chileans equal before the law, including the indigenous population. The promulgation of two constitutions. The funding of the Chilean Navy, the military and naval schools. The organization and dispatch to Peru of the Liberation Expedition Fleet. He also ordered the creation of the current Chilean flag and the national anthem. Organization works and green areas and cities. On the other hand, some decisions were taken that generated discontent among the aristocracy, such as the abolition of entitled states and titles of nobility and the suppression of coats of arms. Distinguished authorities, ladies and gentlemen, Chile, our country, can find in O'Higgins the most outstanding example of life for every citizen. Besides, we are very proud of the close relationship that O'Higgins bequeathed to us between Chile and the United Kingdom, as I have tried to tell in these words. Thanks to each of you who have honored us with your presence today. We have achieved the objective of celebrating a new anniversary of his birth here in the country that saw a young boy turn into a man. I also thank the Borough of Richmond upon Thames for allowing us to celebrate this occasion, and most importantly, for keeping the memory of Bernardo O'Higgins alive in this magnificent square. Thank you very much. And as O'Higgins said, as immortal legacy, to live with honor or to die with glory.
And now, a few words I to say this morning, without the rain, the English word is noticeable, to say thank you to General Bernardo O'Higgins, Chilean, as a General Colonel said before, to live here, and made possible that for many years we are going to be here on this day. Remember O'Higgins, we remember always, forever. Thank you very much.
Will be laid by the London Borough of Richmond upon Thames, represented by its Mayor Councillor, Mr. Jeff Acton, escorted by the Deputy Mayor Councillor, Seth Nicholson. The second wreath will be laid by members of the Instituto O'Higginiano, represented by its president, Mr. Cristian Faundes, accompanied by Mr. Claudio Duran and Mr. Juan Carlos Garcia. The next wreath will be laid by the Latin American and Caribbean Cultural Society, LACS UK, represented by its founder and president, Professor Juan Monroy. And the final wreath will be laid by the Embassy of Chile, represented by the Ambassador, His Excellency, Mr. David Galava, escorted by the military attaché, Colonel Carlos Parra. And now we are going to play the Chilean Army Anthem. Distinguished guests, on behalf of the Embassy of Chile and the Chilean Military Attaché Office, We thank you all very much for joining us in this significant ceremony. Many thanks.